up, file, open notebook, right? And then drag and drop the file. I mean, this day 7, right? Day 7 afternoon, drag and drop. Great, it's here now. And also make sure to drag and drop ISO and marks, these two files, into the file section. And here we go, we have two together. Make sure to make them deeper. And yes, could you please double check my voice is there and is recorded? Okay, we from Friday, let's say Friday plus yesterday plus today morning, we went through data analysis and we practiced data analysis to see how we can work with, I mean, let's say the 4 data processing steps, like transformation, aggregation, working with null values, and then analysis. So analysis section, I covered statistical analysis, descriptive statistic. So from tomorrow, my colleague will cover machine learning, and you will learn how to apply machine learning. So again, from yesterday, I've said that somehow 80% of our effort is gonna be for these steps, data pre-processing, like aggregation, transformation, dealing with null values, and somehow 20% of the atoms goes for analysis. Because let's say for machine learning, once you learn what is, let's say, regression, so you will learn the technique, right? And then you don't need to write the regression technique because it's already there in Python. You just need to import library and then apply over data, right? Working with machine learning is easier than this analysis that we discussed, but these parts are really important part, and we have to make sure data is complete, data is accurate, to make sure the analysis and the result of analysis is going to be trustable. Okay, so for now, let's take a few practices together. For now, I want to focus more on Python skills. Let's see how we can have more Python practice. So the first practice that we want to take is file handling. So file handling is really important because that's a part of, like, let's say, day-to-day job, because data is already in the file and we have to take them for analysis. So here the analysis is count the number of words in the odd numbered line from iso.txt file. So let's open this iso.txt. It's going to be, this simple file. So if you wish, you can have another file. You can add any random, data if you want, right? You can add random lines if you wish, something like this. So what is the task? The task is we have to get only odd number. I have to print out this line, first line, line number 1. I have to print this line, line number 3, and I have to print this line, line number 5. So let's see how we can do that. Let me write down the first line, and then it's going to be like a challenge. Let's see what is your approach on it. So you know that first of all we have to open data, right? Open. What is the name of the file? iso.txt. So we want to read data, right? R means we want to read data as, let's say, as file. And now we have to, here we have to add the code. It should be inside brackets, single quotes or double quotes. So let's see how we can do that. Please think about it and let me see if anyone could get answer for this one. So read data, but I'm not going to read data, line by line. I just want to read only odd numbered lines. Let's see how we can do that. Let's have about 5 minutes. Let me give you help. So here, let's say I have a list. Let's say list 1, right? I have, let's say, number 10 to, I don't know, -4, 5, 3, and 6, for instance. So if I type 4 item in list 1, if I say print item, you know that we can simply print these items one by one, right? So, but how can I count them? I want to say, okay, first one is number 10 is index 1, 2 is index 2, -4 is index 3, and so on. One approach is going to be like define a counter, let's say counter 0, let's say counter 1. So then here you can say that you would say, for instance, index index. I want to use formatting index counter, right? Is then item, and then you can something like this, right? And if we run it, and then I forgot to increment the counter plus 1. Counter.
So here we will do counter plus 2.
Right. Let's say this is the way you can put, this data, say index 1 is 10, index 2 is, 2, and so on. But I think index is the bad word here because index in Python start from 0. It's better to say, for instance, I don't know, let's say position, like if position 1 is 10, position 2, and so on. So how we can print out only odd numbers?
Here we will say position is plus 1 plus equal to 2. So I will.
So we have to print out this one, position 1, 3, 5, right? These are the odd numbers. So how we can get them out? We need to have a conditional statement. How to mention it? We have to say that if this counter, if we divide it by 2, if the remainder it's not 0, means this is odd number. And then print it out. But counter should be, let's say, check number is odd. Let me run. So we could, manage this stuff here, but we need to use somehow this concept for this question. So let's see how you can do that. Let's have maximum 5 minutes. You need to apply somehow the same concept for this file.
Anyways, in file, each line is indexed, right?
But you have to add the counter also, because once you read the file, it's going to read line by line.
Yeah.
You have to add that counter and to make sure which line you are. If it's odd, you have to print. If it's not odd, you have to, pass it. See, also I need to think a bit more. I want to show you something. I want to repeat this one, but somehow with the advanced solution. So the advanced solution here is going to be like this. So I want to type 4. I don't want to use counter. If I want to ignore counter, there is a function, we call it enumerate. Let me tell you what is that enumerate. So as you can see, it's going to say return an enumerate object. So what does it mean? So enumerate on list 1. Okay. If I say print item, so what we can see here, enumerate is going to add a counter. If you add enumerate, it's going to add the counter. Counter starting from 0. So as you can see, it says 10 is index 0, 2 is index 1, minus 4 is index 2. It's going to add these counters. These are counters, right? Starting from 0. Let's say I don't want to start from 0. What happened?
Done.
Oh, you're done. Okay, perfect. So with the first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't want to start from 0. I want to start from 1, right? Because I want to count the odd numbers. So this is row 1, row 2, row 3, and so on. Or let's say number 1, number 2. So I'm using enumerate, and here, if I add, let's say I, something like this, I and item. Here I can type I and item, and if I run again, as you can see, it's gonna be 0, 1, and 2. If I add plus, it's going to add 1. So enumerate again. Enumerate is going to add the counter. So first one, I is, here is the counter. I is a counter, item is your value. So I'm taking counter, but I'm adding 1 more because I want to start from number 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the values. And also this is another way, but this is really advanced, enumerate, but nice method. And then here I can check if I divided by 2, the remainder, it's not 0, right? And then I can print it out. I plus 1. Okay, as you can see, 2 different solutions, same answer, right? First one, very, let's say, normal coding, but second one is advanced coding by learning enumerate. So again, enumerate is going to add a counter.
No, example here, that is an example. We have to run it in file.
Enumerate generates a counter.
उसके लिए कोड है import with open iso.xr as file.
Can I check?
See this, because the file lines will have index 0, 1, 2, right? So I just did it for I file.
Yeah, that's correct. Perfect. And so in this case, I'm going to take this enumerate as the solution. So let me write it down here and then you will check. So with open, this one, with open iso.txt, I want to read as file.
Okay.
So I have to go through file. I have to here say for, let's say line in file, right? If I say print, please follow me here. If I say print line, and if I run, you can see that it's going to write to get all the lines. But I'm just going to print out the first line, this third line, and last line files. So here I'm going to add enumerate here, enumerate. And here I'm going to add the index. I'm going to say, for instance, IDX means index. Then I have to check if I'm going to add exactly this one. Line. Okay, IDX print line. And if I run, okay, because my file is mistake here, I change it. So, oh, I forgot to add +1. Right, that's the way you can do that. Okay, I want to stop here and then you can go through it. So you can apply this one. You can apply this one here, or you can apply enumerate. But I prefer to use enumerate because that's a new method we just learned. But this one is like normal lines of code, this one. So that's the way you can get control of lines.
Just for the clarification thing, like, what does that R stand for? I use so text is fine. This is for read only.
This one, or
Yeah.
Or I mean, we want to read data.
Okay.
But if you put W, it's waiting to write something inside the file. Is R means read, A means append, means you want to overwrite.
Yeah.
Sorry, append means at the end of the list, end of the file, and W means write. But here we have to use R means open this file, right? And because we want to read the file. So Python is going to read a file line by line, okay? If you read. So here, if you have even CSV file, again, it's going to read it line by line. But if you want to read the file column by column, and then in this case, you have to use pandas library, like the Titanic one we used.
We used last class.
How do I print the index of this?
So here we can add, say, IDX
Okay, I did.
one, right? And add, hold on, but here you have to put it inside the format.
Yes, it's done. So with enumerate, we can use index IDX and it will directly give us.
Sorry?
IDX is a function here, right? We are not defining this as a variable over there.
No, that's a variable. You can change IDX to I, change it to I, change it to anything.
Okay. I thought that.
So what we did here, because here we want to add also the line number. I try to use parentheses, right? That's the reason I use F means formatting.
What line does here?
Line means this is like an index. This is for loop, like this one.
Because I think.
Can you see that here? For item in list, item here is the index. Instead of item, I put line. You can put anything. You can put item like this for item in lists, because we have to go through each item, right? Here I mentioned item. If you want, you can change line to item, anything. It's going to be each line.
Yes.
I mean, ISO, how to read it is here. We open ISO.txt, or R means read, means open this file We want to read the file.
No, it was just this line because I couldn't open it, like I couldn't see it the way you can see it. Like when we saw the whole. I didn't see the.
I open it directly. If you go to, or maybe you can double click here, double click. Didn't we open it? This is the whole file.
This one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, can we move on? So at the end, I will share the source code again, right? As HTML file, but let's practice and then I will share. Okay, data visualization. Let's say we have a file and this file is this marks, right? We have two columns. We have it. Maybe we have more columns, right? You can add more columns if you wish. You can add more columns, right? You can add more columns. The thing is, I have to get first column and second column because I want to visualize them, right? I want to visualize how percentage of for math, for programming, for Java, for algorithm, and so on. These are the marks. Okay, since this is CSV file, right? You can read this file directly. So make sure to marks be available here in the left-hand side, right? Marks.csv. Since this is CSV file, you need to import pandas library, or you can import CSV. Let's import CSV because we practice with pandas. Let me import CSV, right? Okay, then here, this is again a file. I have to say with open, right? What is the name of the file? Mark. Is it Mark? Yeah, marks. Marks.csv. So I want to read the file. Let's say as file. Okay, here, if you say print.
If we don't give R, will it be by default R or we have to specify?
I think default is R, default is read, I guess. If I remember, the default is read. So with open as file, and then you have to get, for instance, again, you have to write a for loop, right? Because there are many lines inside the file. So I want to say for item in file. If I say print item, okay, you can get them like this. Because Python, as I said, that is going to read your data line by line. But here, this one is different because here I want to get data column by column, right? I want to get the first column, which are, let's say, which are modules, and second one are marks. But if you go through this way, it's going to read your data line by line. So we have to change our solution. What we have to do here, I want to delete these two lines, right? I have to read them like a CSV file. So here we have CSV dot, because we imported CSV on top. So CSV, we have a method called reader. So what we want to read, we want to read this file. And let's say to keep it inside, let's say CSV file, something like this. And let me check for row, let's say something this one in CSV file. Okay, print row 0, just row 0. Let me run. Okay, nice. So did you get what I did? I converted data because in this practice, I want to read data column by column. If you want to read data column by column, you have two choices. One choice is to import pandas library like the Titanic data we work. Or since this file is very simple file, you can read CSV library. You can use CSV library. So how we can do that? So first of all, we have to open the file. So with open marks, we want to read it as file. Nice. Then I use csv.reader to convert the file to a CSV format. Since the file now is available as a CSV format, it means now we can read data column by column. That's the reason I said that for row in CSV file, let me open the file. Okay, this is the file. So then I have this file now as CSV file. So what's happening here? The thing is, I have to go through each line again, row in CSV file. So row is firstly this row, I mean first row, right? This is first row, this one. Then I'm saying, please print row 0, means print math. This is index 0, this is index 1. Then this is for loop, right? I have to go next line. So read programming, go to next line, read physics, go to next line, read Java, and so on, till system design. Once it's done, it's going to close the file, right? So that's the way you can do that. If you want to get access to only marks, just change 0 to 1, right? It's going to change to 1. But here I have to get them separately. So because I need them. Here I have to say, let's say lesson. This is the list, and then mark is another list. Let's say lessons and marks. So row 0, I want to add them inside lessons. You know that from first day, append, right? How to add the value into a list using .append. And next one is for marks. But row 1. So I want to say that extract lesson, and here I want to say marks. Okay, to double check, we can print them out. So let me print lessons, and let me to print marks. Okay, nice. I could get them separately. So this is the way you can work with a CSV file. You can get them separately. So if you have something like this, now you know how to work with, this stuff. If there is analysis, just think to how to use, descriptive statistics. If you want to aggregate them, use, merge, or use, concat or whatever, right? Because we could collect data. That one was the most important part. So now we have data here. The task is we have to visualize. I want to visualize these data.
Oh, sorry, just one thing, I'm getting
Okay, because print and print should be outside the for loop. Right, these are outside. I mean, bring it behind, bring it outside with open. Okay, make sure to have print lessons and marks outside the width. Is it working?
yes, working.
Still okay. You are facing with error. Let's see. No, okay, you have to put it. Yeah, I think now it should work. No. Let's see the error. Okay, name rows not defined. Okay, you have row. Here is rows. Remove S. But now it does work.
You will use formatting to make them nicely aligned.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to visualize them like a table, you have to convert them to data frame. TD.data frame, but we don't need that because we want to visualize this stuff. So how to visualize? I want to use pie chart because pie chart is nice here. Okay, how to use pie chart? So can you use pie chart to visualize these lessons and mark? Let's have 5 minutes. Try to use pie chart from last week. Okay, no worries. Just, the thing is, you have to put them outside the loop. Right outside the loop, just have space to make them separate. Right? Try to remind pie chart. Okay, pie chart. So what we need firstly for pie chart, import library, mat, plot, this one, right? And now try to visualize. The idea of pie chart. I think lesson on Thursday maybe.
I did it, but I'm using numbers. Somehow did it, but not done Saturday, so I'm reviewing.
Okay, great.
But,
Okay, nice.
but.
Okay, but here use line chart. Line chart is not helpful here because what we can understand from here, how we can relate this one to this one, right? That's the thing. That's the reason pie chart is much better for this case. Okay, let's do it. Okay, here we have to say PLT dot pi, right? So what we want to show, we want to show marks. We want to show marks. So make sure to mention labels, right? What is the labels? It's lessons. Let me run this one. Okay, we can get something like this, but still not really helpful. So one reason is we have to get rid of these ones, right? We have to get rid of this information. How to get them rid of? So let me to comment these pins. We don't need them. So we have to say plt.show, right? Then we can get rid of those information. Okay, but now we can make it, you know, nice visualization. How we can make it nice? So for instance, we can add, so there is here we call auto PCT, means auto percentage. So auto percentage should be between 2%. I want to say that, so add the percentage with 3 decimals. This one, 3 decimal for the decimal part, like 0.3f. Let me see. Oh no, what is that? Okay, I guess maybe I need to have. Yeah, nice, now working. So what is that? Let me also print them. Okay, how we can interpret? Okay, math is 55. 55 is the 12% of the whole marks, right? Programming is 18% of the whole the marks. How we can calculate the whole the marks? We have to do summation 55 plus 80 plus 62 plus 70, and then 55 divided by the whole, 80 divided by the whole, something like this. Then you can calculate the average, the percentage. So here I said auto PCT means auto percentage. So you have to put it between 2 percentage sign, right? First percentage sign and the second one. And then I mentioned I'm going to visualize them by 3 decimals. As you can see, 0.3f means 3 decimals. As you can see that there are 3 decimals, 3 decimals. You need to have one more percentage because I didn't add it and it gives me error. You need to add one more percentage size to be able to show that percentage as well, right? Also, you can visualize it by bar chart, right? But I think it's nice to visualize them by pie chart. So one more thing here. Do you know about, I think there is something called shadow. Yeah, shadow. If I say true, let me see. Okay, the shadow is not showing really nice output. No. If you see, there is very stupid shadow. You can see that this is a shadow, right? But not really nice for visualization. Let's do something else. Let me add something called explode. So do you remember what is explode?
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, it's going to bring them, let's say, get them separate from each other, each slice. So explode is going to take each slide on and off, right? So for instance, explode, you have to take, if you put math 1, it's going to take this, slice out. If you put programming 0, it's going to keep it here, right? It's going to put them on and off. Let's try. So, but in this case, I need to mention how many 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Means I have to do something like this. Let me say X, something like this, right? And then this, let me say X, and then X, I want to mention it here. So how many, let's say 1, let's say 6, 7. Let me run, make sure it's working. But it's still really far. So we can decrease like 0.1, 10%, right? 10%. So as you can see that now they are 10% out, right? So I can do for all, let's say 10% out for all. So now is much better. And maybe you want to ask if we have 15 values. This is also advanced. Let me discuss it. So here we have 7 items, right? Math, programming, and so on. If we have, let's say, 20 categories, do we want to type 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1 20 times? We can find a better way to avoid repeating, putting 0.10, 0.10, 0.10. So very easy way is this one. I want to mention point something like that. If I want to repeat it 7 times, right, I have to multiply it by 7. It means, but make sure to put it inside the bracket. Let me show you here. If I want to repeat A, right, 10 times, you need to put it inside bracket and then say multiply by 10. It's going to repeat A 10 times. If I want to repeat, this 0.1 10 times, just put it inside the bracket and then multiply by 10. It's going to repeat it 10 times. This is somehow hidden coding in Python. Maybe you can't find it somewhere. I found it, very, let's say by chance. Now I want to do it. So here, I want to do it like this. Okay, yes. You can try this one from top to bottom. Okay, from top, read the file, put the data inside two lists like lessons and marks. You can print them out to make sure they are, they are there. And then you can use pie chart to visualize those data.
And I want the frame of the chart.
So let's firstly complete the codes and then This is really day-to-day job because we usually have CSV file or we usually have Excel file that we want to analyze. We want to import them inside Python. This is the way you have to get them, read each column separately. But if you want to work with pandas, you have to convert them to data frame. If you remember syntax, pd.dataframe, and then you can convert these data to data frame if you want to go through data frame analysis. Otherwise, you can simply plot from here. I'm sorry. We say to invalid syntax because remove this comma. Remove comma. Now, again, okay, here you want to mention that's from below the corner. Yep. So you have to put multiply 10 outside the bracket. Yeah, outside bracket, multiply.
Oh, okay, because I was wondering.
But you can't put 10 because we have 7. And you have to put 7.
And you can't do the thing, separate.
No.
That's right.
Yeah. But I mean, this is the Python magic, I guess, because if you want to repeat the value, let's say for 7 times or 10 times, put it inside the bracket and then multiply it by the number of repetitions. Yeah, and if you run now, no, this one, yeah, you can use pie chart with pandas, but here we are using pie chart with matplots, right? Yeah, of course you can do, but if you want to use that one, you have to convert this data to data frame. So how to convert this data to data frame? We did it from yesterday. I want to give you a hint. So let's say you got this data, but you want to work with, data frame. How to work with data frame? So import pandas as PD, right? And then let's say df is PD dot data frame. So we have to add them by dictionary. So what is the first column? For instance, lessons. And what is the data? Data is, this one, lessons, right? And then we can add another one. The column is marks, right? And then marks. If I'm not wrong, marks. Right, and then you can convert it to data frame. Then whatever you want to do, you can simply do, right? Because we started working on data from yesterday. Just, I don't know, if you want to calculate the average for marks, just put marks dot mean, for instance. I want to calculate the average of marks. So simple, df marks, right, dot mean, calculate the average. Okay, because these are a string, here I have to say int. Change them to int. So maybe here I would say int. I'll not convert the service to class int. Still, okay, here once. Here I have to say p type. No, not this one. So if you want to change the type, we did it yesterday. I just now forgot. So df marks dot d type. D type. Where are you? D type. D type. Let me put it in separate. D types. Okay, object and object. So because now the both columns are a string, right? Both columns are a string. We have to change the second column as integer. So how to convert the type? It was marks dot two. Okay, you know the easiest way is here. So before that, we have to say marks, right? Integer, and then we're going to say that for I in marks, right? We have to say marks dot append. So marks int dot append. Let's say I dot. No, I have to say int I. This one. Let me put it up. And here I would say marks int. And now if I say df types, can you see that? I could convert it to integer. Let me do it here. Convert string to int. Okay, that's the way you can convert to data frame. But since we want to get them as the values, this one, you have to convert them to integer before and then put it inside the data frame.
Sure. Basic question. You know, most of the things that we are doing like this, showing the graphs and that visualizing. There are other programs that do it like Excel and that. So what's the difference? Why do we have to?
So because in Excel, right, this is like data processing that you should have Excel, I mean, the format of Excel, right? And there are like every visualization there, right? Also in, let's say, Tableau is another one, there is visualization and so on. But we use Python for analysis, for processing, that they are not available in Excel, right? So if you want to have, analyze your data, process your data, like in Python, you can write anything with code to convert your data to information.
So you don't have to manually.
No, but if you just want to work with data manually, like using Excel, there are many functions like change the string type, like convert date to date to integer and so on. There are lots of functions already there. But those things like Excel is nice for very day-to-day work without any processing on data. But once we want to use Python, means we want to convert data to information. And then alongside with that, you can visualize also your data. Because visualization is a tool available everywhere.
Yeah, for example, last year when we did standard deviations and that, we did it on Excel.
Yeah, you can do it with Excel. So as I said, that if you want to just do standard deviation, just use Excel. But if your data, right? Sometimes we have data, but data is not clean. Means data is very raw data. We need to firstly manipulate data, remove some columns, add some rows, or you want to work on data, and then you want to calculate, let's say, standard deviation. And then, yeah, in this case, you can use Python. Maybe you can use Tableau. Different platform you can use. But those platforms like Excel, Tableau, Power BI, those are like wizard-based analysis. But this one is coding-based analysis. These are different. Okay, for instance, in Excel, we don't have machine learning. How we want to train data using Excel? We don't have these things.
Okay.
Just for the information purpose, I'm asking, you said you can use the data for ML purpose. But can we use the Excel data also for ML once we have the data with us? We can directly use in machine
Yeah, you can read data directly. Use pd.read CSV or read XLS. You can read directly the file.
This is something which we have converted our CSV or Excel file into Python format. However, like if you want to directly go into artificial intelligence using the data which we have in Excel, let's assume like we have all the formatting done, be it manual or with the formulas and everything. We have the formatted Excel document. So we can use that Excel directly.
Exactly, you can do it
without
all this stuff.
Python.
I've said that when we need this, we need to do this stuff like those aggregation, transformation. When you want to manipulate data, right? Okay. Once you have as I said yesterday, you have 10 resources.
Yeah.
So you have to find a way to put them together and then apply, for instance, machine learning. How to put them together? You have to use .can or this stuff. If you don't need them, just ignore them. Doesn't need that. These are preparation. If your data has been already prepared,
okay,
you don't need this stuff.
So, for example, for job search, yeah?
Okay.
Just to show that you have the skills, can you do like some file visualization and then post it on LinkedIn and say, oh, or do you need to do more professional stuff?
No, you can do like all stuff. What do you mean by professional stuff?
I don't know, like create a different, some invention.
No, we don't have, I didn't get your point, but for visualization, for instance, visualization has huge library. This box plot, this pie chart is the one side of that, right, pie chart. But let's say if you want to go for a job interview, something like that.
To show your skills.
Yeah, to show your skill. They may ask you about, do you know about visualization library? They never ask, so do you remember pie chart? What is like auto-PCT in pie chart? They never ask something like this. They just want to know what you know about, visualization. Right?
So in general, for the practical purpose, like in the job market, let's assume we have this thing and we practice everything, whatever you said on certain platforms, we do that. So what is the expectation of the employer to, like, what is,
Two things. Let me to make it clear. Two things.
Yeah.
My experience, because my experience should be your experience, is same. I was applying for a job like data analytics. There are two type of interviews. The first interview, they send you a task, okay? To say, okay, we have this data. Please calculate like standard deviation. Please put them together. Please, they give you a task. You have to complete those tasks, and those tasks help them to see, okay, what is your skill set? Okay, this is the way. On that case, if they ask you, for instance, they give you this data, this is really common thing. So let's say they give you this data, like this one, something like this. Then they ask you, please, we have a line manager, he or she needs to get this data visualized. Please visualize this data. This is a very tricky question. Why? Because they want to know, are you going to use pie chart or are you going to use scatter plot? Because you have to pick the proper plot to visualize. Like that line chart you show me. If you use that line chart, they say, okay, this guy has no knowledge. His skill set is not good. But if you come with this pie chart, say, okay, this guy knows how to visualize data to be informative. This one is informative. But if you use, let's say, scatter plot doesn't make sense for this case, right? This is the skill set, right? It does happen. This is the way they can assess your skill set. But when you are sitting for interview, they never ask, okay, can you tell me what is pie chart? No, they never ask, right? They will ask, have you been work with visualization? You have to say yes. Then they will ask which libraries you used. Matplot, Seaboard, for instance, my experience. I was working with Seaboard and Matplot. And then they are intelligent. They will ask, what is the difference between Seaboard and Matplot? Because you said you were working. So if you were working, it means you know the difference. You know, the interview will go through your knowledge of the topic, right? But how is your skill in detail? They will give you task. Like they give you like 2-3 days. I had a friend, he came from my home country, Iran, from Tehran. He was my student, right, in University of London last year. And because of coming from same background, and he once called me and said, I got a task. I have to complete, this is in Python. I have to complete it and send it. And then if it's correct, I will go through the interview. I said, okay, this is your job, not my job. They're gonna to come to see what is your skill set, not my skill set. So, and then he said, no, please help me out. I need your help. I said, okay, I can help you, but I cannot do that. If I do that, it's not going to show your skill. It's going to show my skill. So he came, I said, okay, let's sit together to see what is the problem. So they gave out like 5 tasks. One task was about, it was a small data, like this data. It was exactly this data. I mean, the size of the data, it was like something like this, with like 3 columns, like 5 or 6 rows. And they said that, okay, we have this data, right? Please try to use a visualization method to visualize this data with well enough information. Very general question. So he said that, what should I do? I said, okay, firstly, you have to read data. You have to decide, you want to use data frame or you want to use this stuff. And then he did it. And then he said, okay, how can I make it informative? How can I make it, convert it to information? I said, my friend, you need to know data analysis. You need to know averaging, standard deviation, percentile, quartile. You have to know about this stuff that we discussed on Friday, right? So you need to know this stuff and then put them together and then visualize. You can use, for instance, bar chart. And then he said, okay, I can't do that. Can you do it for me? I said, sorry, I can't do that, because they want to assess, they want to judge your skill set. It was one experience last year I faced with, but I personally faced with like 3 or 4 years ago. I had an interview with a company for machine learning job. They give me a task. They give me a large data set, like I remember 15 columns with about more than 1,000 records. They give me this data and then they ask me, okay, we have this data and this is data description. This data was like the Titanic data we worked. Then they said that, okay, this is data. Can you go through this data and get out some helpful information out of it? Very general task. So what does it mean? It means I have to read data. I have to remove those unnecessary columns that we don't need. For instance, the passenger ID, like the customer ID. We don't need that. You have to remove that column. Like the birthday. We don't need that. I remove that. Then I have to have transformation, right? These are the tasks they usually give out. They never say what sort of, analysis you have to do. You have to use your own skill set to apply on that data. One person can do very simple stuff. Another person can do very advanced stuff. At the end, that company going to take that person with advanced skill set. Okay? So yeah, but they never ask you that what is label, what is shadow, because no one can memorize them. These are based on just practice. If you practice, you can memorize.
How can I export my work?
This one? Export to what? To another format?
No, it's an Outlook, or put it in a file or something like that.
Okay, I will. Okay, let me show you here because I wanted to do it at the end. So in Google Colab, you have to go. So you have to download firstly, right? Download IPYNB. But IPYNB is not a readable file, right? No one can read it. You have to open it inside the Python Jupyter notebook. So drag and drop in the left-hand side. So it's here, right? Day 7. There is a syntax. You have to type in Jupyter and the convert --to HTML. I want to convert it to HTML. Which file? Day 7. If you run, it's going to gives you this HTML here, and then you can download. And then you can simply open it, right? This is the HTML file. Okay, let's move on.
So yes. I haven't.
Because we will add it at the end. We don't need it here. We will add it at the end. Okay, question? Undersize not to be a data frame, but we have this capital there.
And then your size convenient. Now I want border.
Okay, let's go through this one. This is really a good practice on one line if else. So it's going to help to improve your skill set. So, and let's say few companies those companies gonna pay more. They would like to have, people with advanced skill set. So advanced skill set is like that enumerate that we use that. So for instance, here, for first practice, I've said that you can do first practice with very normal coding or with the advanced one using enumerate. So if you want to, because you can find job, for Python programming or Python analysis with like 35K, also you can apply for the same job with 80K. So there is a difference between 35K and 80K, let's say. So those guys applying for 80K usually have this, they know about these advanced methods. So how we can know about these advanced method? Experience. Once you work with Python over the time, you will learn them one by one. So myself, after 12 years working with Python, maybe I found this enumerate like after 5 years working with Python, because very huge library. right? Python has very huge library, and no one can learn all this stuff within a year. You need to practice. So that's the reason. The first reason of these bootcamps is going to put all this stuff together, right? To make sure you can get well enough, experience out of it. So let's do this practice together. So this is one line if else statement. Keep your code simple. Okay. So this is very normal way to write down if and else. So this one works only for if and else. Means if you don't have else, you cannot apply it. If you have if and else together, then you can apply it. So how many lines we did for if? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 lines for if, right? You can put it in one line. How we can put it in one line to make it, very simple and advanced? You can do something like this. So, okay. First of all, you have to write the condition. What is the condition? This is a condition, right? I'm copying the condition. Let me here say shorter. Let's say shorter version. Okay. I'm typing if age less than 18 without colon. So in the left-hand side, let me have some space. So in the left-hand side, you have to put when it is met, this one. In the right-hand side, you have to put the else part, this one. Also, you have to mention else. You have to mention else, right? And then this one. And let me to remove. Okay. So again, this is a condition, right? Let me run firstly. Okay. This is the condition. Okay, this is a condition. You have to put it in the middle, right? In the left-hand side, you have to put when this condition satisfied, you have to put it here. In the right side, what you have to put? You have to put else block, means else, make sure to remove column, else print adult. So what is the task? We're going to check the age. If age is less than 18, he or she is child, otherwise he or she is adult. So this is a shorter version of if else. But make sure if this if else is going to be many if else, if else, if else, if else, it's going to be very long. In this case, better to avoid, right? Better to use this original one. Let's say this traditional way. This is a traditional way. This is, let's say, classical way, something like that. So this one is nice when you have a short version of if. If you have very long, like if else, if else, if
Or
else.
nested if also, no, like many.
Yeah, if you have many, it's not, because the title is keep your code simple. But if you have very long if then else, and if you want to put them into one single line, then it's not going to make it simple. It's going to make it complex. So let's take this approach. Okay, let's take this approach and do for this one. So this is if then else. So please try to convert it to one line coding. So you have to start from the original if else. The original if else is this one, right? So I have to write it down. If age less than 21. So you have to take this one at the left side, right? You have to take it at the left side and take it this one at the right side. But also at the left side, it has also another if else. So think about it to see how we can use that. in the left hand side, okay, in the right side, I can add this one, right? This is the right side. I'm taking this one as the original if condition. So this is the else part, this one. So I can add else this one at the right side. Let me copy this one and put it here, right side, and like this. Okay, this is the right side. What about left side? Left side, I have to add this one. How to add it? So again, we have to put this condition as, you know, here at the middle, that we have some spaces, okay, here. So this one, the left side should be this one, print kid, the left side, and else this teenager should be right side, and then you have to put it at the right side. If you didn't get the point, let me to explain again. And if I write, let me say shorter version, right? Both going to generate same result. So if you couldn't get it, let me to explain again.
You don't have to give comma there.
No, no comma. So again, I have to start from top. So this is original, let's say this is the first if condition, right? So I have to take it in the middle, right? And then the right side, I have to put else. So this else here, it's for this if, right? That's the reason I have to take it and put it the right side. What about left side? Left side is there is another if, which is this one, right? Which is this one. Again, I have to put if age less than 12 in the middle. The left side is print kid. The right side is else print teenager, else print teenager. And that's the way you can make it one line. Yeah, because first teenager is for first one, and this teenager is for second one. I try to show you both generate same result.
I only have one teenager.
Okay, can I see? Okay, because here you put it inside else, one back. Did you get?
Yeah.
Because you had space here. If you have a space, it's going to be inside else. So make sure to make it outside. Okay, let's take this one and then we have a short break. Okay,
Just one thing I wanted to understand.
okay, sure, let me know.
I'm trying to use input also in this. I don't know what did I do wrong. This is showing things.
So what is input age? What is age here? No, you have to remove age. So you have to put like the message, put it inside the single quotation, for instance, say enter, what is your age, for instance? Okay. But before doing that, no, it's wrong. If you run it, it gives you error. Because the output is a string, you have to convert it to int. Before input, put int, yeah, and then at the end. Nice, and now run it. 50. Okay, for this part, let's take this one and then we can have a short break. Okay, this is another one. If we run, what does it do? It's going to get the number. So here we can change it to this one. For instance, it would say instead of 10, x is int, for instance, input, enter an integer value like this. If I run, I want to enter like 30. So then it's going to be, 900. So what is the action? The action is, so if x, the remainder of this division by 2 is 0, means this is even number. Then then power it by 2. 2 asterisk means power. Else means this is odd number. Then power it by 3. So this is one condition. So please try to use it and convert it to one line. If then else. So let me run. For instance, I do like 31. It's going to power it by 3. Okay, let me shorter version. Okay, shorter version. So make sure to put if between. This is if, right? So left side. So since this is equal sign, we cannot add operators in the shorter if and else version. So what we have to do, we have to put the actual, action here. And what about right side? Exactly this one. But make sure to remove result. Okay, but how we can mention this is result? Add it at the beginning. Result is this one. And print results. Let's see if they are same. I'm going to add, let's say 20. Right, the result is same, means they are right.
I did it in a slight different way. I don't know. I did print INTX.
Yeah, you can also print. Yeah, this is also correct. Yeah. You can also print. So this is one way, and also our friend, he did another thing. He did something like this. He put print. You can do like this, or you can do like this. You can remove result, and you can print directly like this.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, also you can use this one. Print this one, or print this one.
Yeah, then we don't have to define.
Yeah, you don't need that. For instance, 20, right? All of them are same.
1 minute.
So let's take this one, the last, I mean, if then else, advanced mode. So let's say we have this list of students, and the task is we want to check if student passed the exam. So we can write down, let's firstly execute this cell to make sure students are there. Okay. So as you can see, we have a list of a student in the dictionary format. So because we know how to work with data frame, working with dictionary here is a nice challenge. So let's see. So we have to write a for loop, right? For, let's say, students in, let's say students, I'm taking a student as an index. So I have to check. So you know that when we use for loop means go through a data structure, means read first line, is done, go to second line, then third line, and last line. This is what exactly for loop does. So for student in a students, or you can say for S in a student, whatever, or for ST in a student. Students is the name of the dictionary. Okay, how can I check the score? Since this is dictionary, I have to say ST. I think here you means dot score, right? We can add st dot score, right, to get access to score key, because this is key and value. Or you can make it simple, put it inside, bracket. St score means get access to score, which is the key. So if st.score is greater than 50, means he or she passed, right? So again, this is dictionary. When you say score, means 40, 64, 98, 33. When you say name, it's going to say Bob, Mike, Julie, Sarah, and so on. So if st score is greater than 50, we have to let them collect the result. Let's say outcomes, something like this, is the list. So we have to say outcomes dot. Let's say append. We have to add them, right? Append. What to append? I want to say it like this. I want to add the message. How to add the message? For instance, I want to say this one. I want to say something like this. Student, like the name. What is the name of the student? ST name, right? Student, like this. Passed the exam. Name. So else we have to add this one. Append this one, failed the exam. Let's do something like this. Let me see if it's working. No, invalid syntax. Invalid syntax. Oh, right. I did really stupid mistake. Okay. Let's say something like this. Why it's not working here? I would like this. If a student ST name. I'm surprised that why it's not working. Something like this. Jump formats. Not formats. And then alt home. Okay, something like this. Okay, I mean, I try to have this solution, with, let's say, somehow in a different way. We have a dictionary, the name of student and score, and I try to check who passed and who failed. And I try to keep who passed and who failed inside the list, like this: when student Bob failed, student Mike passed the exam, and so on. And you know about this formatting. We practiced, on Friday. This one, right? This is a message. I try to store it inside the list. Okay, this is the way we have done. So now the task is try to convert it to one line if else, but there is big difference. We have here loop, for loop. So apart from for loop, try to convert this if else. Try to convert the if else to one line coding. Maybe I can remove a student to make it short, like this. Bob failed, Mike passed, and something like this. Okay, here I have to say shorter version. How to add the shorter version? Let's have it out like for 5 minutes.
I didn't even save the outcome. It just came just like that, without saving it in outcome. It just
Yeah, you can ignore saving the outcome. You can directly print them out.
this way. It just that I have to.
Yeah, you can directly print them out. Yeah, don't worry. You know why I did one? There is a reason that I did that, because I want to tell you that how you can convert it to one line if then else.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit. I had a bit challenge to see how to convert it to one line if then else. So this version, try to convert it to one line if then else. So you know that for okay, this is a condition. We have to take the condition and put it here. And the else part, you have to copy else part, which is this one, and put it right side. Make sure to remove colon. And the left side is this one, right? So as you can see, it's now really long. So let me change outcome. Okay. Let me check. So if it's long, you can add, I think, backslash and send it to the next line. And here I can use backslash, send it to the next line. Okay, if you find the line is, you get the long line, you can break them down. How to break them down? For instance, here I have this if, right? The else part, I have to put it right side. I'm using backslash to send it to the next line because I can make it, readable because it was very long. Okay, but the output is different, right? The first one is the correct one, but the last one is going to just print out like the last one. Sarah failed the exam. So, sort it out. Okay, it's going to be, okay, since they are going to be in single line, I would say something like this. Outcome is this one, else this one. Let me double check. Oh, I got the problem. The problem is I forgot to add for loop. We have for loop. Okay, once you have done your job, right? Failed the exam, right? At the end, you have to add for loop. So in this case, if you have a mix of for and if, you have to add for at the end of the,
Okay.
right at the for at the end of the line. And I guess you need to put all together inside the bracket. Let me check. Okay, nice, it's now working. So what I did, and also that one that you went through, you can use that one, right? There is no difference. But the challenge was here using for loop, the combination of for and if. If you have a combination of for and if, scroll it up. Okay, this is the normal way. You can write it down, right? For, if, else. And the shorter version, you need to write if, you have to put it middle, right? Afterwards, you have to add else part. We have done that, else, and then outcome will end. And the left side, you have to add the condition if it does satisfy, right? You have to put it here. But what about for? You have to add for at the end of the line here. for ST in students. And since there is 4, you have to put them all together inside the bracket, close bracket, and here open bracket. This is because of adding 4. And again, why I've done this backslash and backslash, I break them down, right, into different lines. By the way, this is really very advanced. Maybe somewhere you will face with something like this.
I did it without even storing the outcomes, but I'm getting this extra none. See, it is coming 4 times. Like here also, I didn't save the outputs. Here also, I didn't save the outputs. Print this. If this is the case, else print this for ST into students. So it printed 1, 2, 3, 4, the same outcome. But at the end, it also added this.
Run again. It's really strange. Run again. Can I see it? Print. Going to print. Okay, you didn't use the list. Okay, so student statement.
I was just trying to see if I can still avoid losing outcomes.
Private why? None. Else.
वैसे क्या है तो वो प्रिंट के इसलिए के बाद बैकस्लैश एन लिखा प्रिंट यहाँ पे दिए ना कि हाँ बैकस्लैश
Really don't know what is that.
okay try to नहीं हाँ
What is the purpose of using format like /f or format using afterwards? So
I said I try to write it down with different way to say if you have if-then-else very long. I use them by purpose to show if your if-then-else is gonna be very long. You can use this backslash to break them down.
Format. Past exam dot format. I know the formula. I mean, this coding I understood. What's the purpose, exact purpose of this? Why do see? I understand what is the pen and then.
So the purpose, as I said, I try to keep the long output inside the list.
Okay.
Bob failed the exam, Mike passed the exam. I did it on purpose, as I said, just for one reason. The reason is I tried to write this one line if-then-else to show you it's gonna be very long. If it's very long, right, it's better to use these backslashes, to break them down. This is the only purpose.
Sorry, maybe I'm talking about this thing, the format. Why do you, what is the exact?
Okay, the format means, because I want to print out this message, right?
Yeah.
Pass the exam, but here I want to add the variable from somewhere, okay?
So, okay.
This is
Because
index 0.
You may have two keys in this, but anyway, like in this case, we have 2 keys, name and score.
Yeah, but here I just want to keep name.
So we any which ways have put 0 in this. So
No, 0 means, I think you forgot. Format is going to get, this is index 0, which is relevant to this one. So for instance, if I want to say name, where is that? Okay, this name is going to be here. Like name pass the exam, for instance, with what is the mark? You can put like number 1 and index 1 should be here. Like here, for instance, it's going to be like 10. And 10 is going to be instead of 1. This is formatting. I guess you forgot formatting.
If I need this output on next line, like each person fail on the next line, I tried using backslash and.
Yeah, backslash n.
But it's giving syntax error.
In the shorter one.
Yes.
Okay, in the shorter version, if you want to expand it, this gives you error.
Okay.
Right? Shorter version means you have to keep everything short. If you have, for instance, long condition, right? This shorter version doesn't work.
Okay.
Okay. For some cases, it does work. Okay. Okay. Simple game. To write a program to find the correct answer of a randomly chosen shape with the number of atoms. Okay. So let's firstly create a list of shape. For instance, I want to say shapes is the list. So let's say circle, rectangle, ellipse, for instance, star, bottles, square, diamond, what else? Triangle. What else I can add? Like circle, I have like heart.
Cylinder.
I think it's gonna be enough. I think these are enough. I think. So how many? 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, is enough. So we have to choose one of them randomly. How to choose randomly? Randomly, there is a method. It's called choice. There is a method called choice. You have to import it from random library. So if I say choice shape shapes, right? And if I print it, print. Okay, it's going to select square. If I run again, it's going to select diamond, right? And because it's random choice. So if you have a list, if you want to pick a value randomly, one way, this is one way. The one way is to use choice library. Sorry, choice method. Use choice method. You know, there are different ways. You can use random int. Random int is another library you can use to take a specific index. But here we can work with choice.
It's giving me error. It's a simple one. Why it's random? Input choice shapes of fine and choice shapes and things.
Okay, no, because the problem.
Just show shapes to one.
Because the problem is shapes. Take a.
शेप बनाओ इनपुट नेम के उसका नाम दे
It chooses the shapes randomly. Are the shapes chosen randomly?
Yeah, I mean, this is a list, right? Let's say I want to take one of them randomly, right? How can I do? You can import this method, choice, right, from random library, right? This is a method. If you say choice shapes, it's going to go through shapes and take one of them randomly. Like Marcus, it took diamond. If you run again, it's going to select another one, right? You can try. Now it's diamond. If I run again, it's going to choose, let me see, it's going to choose square. If I run again, it's going to choose circle, right? Because it's going to pick it randomly. Okay, What is the game? The game is we have to, comment this one to say, okay, we don't know which one has been selected, right? We have to guess. We have to guess which one has been selected. So what do you think? How we can do that?
We take user input, and see if this choice is same.
Okay,
As
you
in-
can write it down. Write it down. So I'm going to add attempt, right? 1. Okay, because we have to count after how many attempts we could guess. So maybe we would say that let's print. We can do something like this. Let's say this is like a game. Let's act like a game. So print shapes, and we would say that we have to get input. Let's say separate shape, something like this. Let me add attempt here. Okay, secret shape. We have to say input, right? What is your guess? Okay. We have to check, for instance, I enter rectangle, for instance. If it's not rectangle, we have to again check. How to keep it in the loop? We have to use while loop, right? While loop is going to keep it inside the loop. Okay, what is your guess? Let's run this one firstly. Maybe we can say this one. What is your guess on chosen? Let's say shape. Let's say something like this. So there is one thing that we have to consider. So here, if I type, let's say hard capital, we have to manage because in the list we have lowercase. But let's say I enter uppercase, and as you know that Python is case sensitive. If I say hard, so this hard by capital H is different by this hard with lowercase, right? So what we have to do, we have to use lowercase.
Secret shape dot lower.
So here you would say lower. So we have another problem, maybe. The end user like me, I wrongly input space and then hard, something like that. So we have to get rid of that space. How to get rid of a space?
Strip.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's gonna be strip. Strip. Let me check. Yeah, strip. Perfect. Yeah, strip is going to remove white spaces from anywhere, left side, right side, in the middle, anywhere. So means remove the white spaces using .strip and then convert them to lowercase. Why? Because our list is all is lowercase. Okay, nice. We have data ready. Let me check. Let me check. Everything is there. So let me run again. Okay, let me space star space. So can you see that star is there and all the spaces is gone, right? If I run again, if I type, for instance, heart with space, if I enter, okay, can you see that has been changed, has been converted to lowercase, and also again, white spaces is gone. So remove white spaces plus get them lowercase. Get lowercase, something like remove white spaces plus get lowercase. Okay. So the choose, I mean this one that we have been choose, we have to put it somewhere. We have to put it like, let's say, secret, something like secret is this one, right? Okay, here we have to say while this, let me say user shape. Make sure that has been selected by user. User shape. So while user shape, right, is not equal to secret, right? We have to stay inside the loop. So what we have to write inside the loop, please have it out.
I have to keep running this.
Just a little bit.
We have to keep generating new shapes, so.
Yeah, we have to keep end user
Till the time it
in the
matches.
loop until
It matches with.
he gives the right, right, let's say forecasting. So how we can keep it? Okay, here I mean, there is a secret shape has been chosen, right? Let's say it's star, something like this. Atom one, so print shapes, we have it circle, rectangle, ellipse, star, square, and others. So we get input from end user. What is your guess on the chosen shape? Let's say I'm saying heart, I'm typing heart. I have to check. Heart is not, star is not. We have to go inside the while loop. And then we have to keep asking this message. We have to keep asking this message from end user and again check if there is a right guess. If it's not, we have to still keep asking, keep asking, keep asking.
Can I do like this? First, I will define user shape also blank, like when we defined attempt as blank. Then I will say while user shape is not equal to system shape, you ask for input and attempt plus one. I don't know if I can run this because it is while loop. I really feel scared to run.
So try to put them together. Let's see.
While we can. Function doesn't have. 1 minute input.
Okay, if it's not equal to secret, right, we have to print a message. Say, like, you are wrong, something like this, right? And make sure to add attempt one more, because attempt, right? Attempt one more. And then we have to keep asking again, this one. Copy this one, and copy exactly this one, and pasting here. So let me run. Okay, I don't know what is the choice, which one has been selected. I'm going to start with, for instance, circle. It says circle, you are wrong. Can you see that? It keeps me inside the loop. So I have to say heart. You are wrong. Okay, star. Still wrong. Right? Still wrong. Oh my God, which one is it? Square. Square. Okay, I forgot to add the message at the end. So once we came out of the while, we have to print the message. Print. You would say, like, congratulations, something like this. You could, let's say you won after this one attempt. How many attempts? Attempt, right? And then make sure to have that here, means let me run again. Okay, start. No, you're wrong. Diamond. Yes, after 2 attempts. For instance, it was diamond. Congratulations, you won after 2 attempts. You know, print, maybe we don't need to print. Let's remove it. We don't need to print. Okay, that's it. Okay, you can run on your side and see how does it work.
Giving the, you are wrong, it's not giving the secret answer. We don't want that comparing.
So once you are right, look, it's going to check your input, right, with the secret.
You have understood that, but for the display, we don't have what is the secret, what is the answer of the secret code.
So once they are equal means you got the secret code.
So we
But if you want to
display that,
okay, just simple, just display secret at the end. At the end here, congratulations, you won after like atom, you can add another print message to say the secret key is and then put secret.
Okay.
If you want, you can print that.
Oh.
Was easy, right?
No, I use the format. Oh, I have to give F in the beginning.
Yeah, at the beginning, yeah.
Why
It's
why showing that all the time?
good.
Is something wrong or
तेरा
right?
program सही से चलता है,
No,
ये नहीं decide कर
because-
सकती, तो एक के बाद एक
No, what is the secret key?
सही रहेगा.
Secret.
No, because secret key is not triangle, it's another shape.
There I copied it from here only.
No, here, go up. Here, secret key.
I have understood that, but after this many attempts, it's not giving the second.
Because this is not the chosen key.
Yeah.
You have to change it.
It could be.
Maybe this is circle, you don't know.
Okay, so I understood that. Okay. So every time it will choose only one for
Yeah, for instance, I'm running, let's say I just run it. This one, choice shapes. It's going to take one of these randomly. For instance, it's going to take a star.
In attempt 2, will it have another shape or with the same shape?
Just
No. Once you run again, it's going to select another one.
That's what I'm saying, because that's why I've been using the triangle. So that, At least in 8 attempts, I should select triangle at once.
See what is happening.
No, it's not. Again, you misunderstood. So stop from top. Okay, run again. Okay, go up. Okay, look, the cursor is here, right?
Yeah.
Green one. So shapes is here. Secret now is one of these. You don't know. I don't know that. So we have to guess, right? So like print, for instance, square. We have to check if it's a square. So look, we are checking by. Your input square is not secret. Yes, it's not secret. That's the reason it puts you inside the loop. So you have to guess again. Guess another one, like triangle. Let's see which one was. Star. Yeah, go on. Wrong still.
Yeah, how many you
Still wrong. Go ahead, like
What
diamond.
I'm asking, like this, you are wrong. This is first attempt. First attempt, with the actual secret key could have been, let's say, hard. For second key, it will be hard, or it can change to ellipse also.
What do you mean by second key?
Secret choice. So it select randomly. So so every time I run, I have new secret.
New secret.
So okay. So
Okay, now try to find which one was. Now type circle. Did not. Try again with another one like diamond. No, still wrong. Diamond. Okay, diamond was the choice. And after atom, no, you should put F. Means this is a format. Add F. You're done. No. Okay, try again. But before, previous one was diamond, but now it's not diamond, it's something else because it's choose, randomly. So have you?
Next line.
Because
To choose randomly.
Yeah,
They just define it.
You want to define by euro?
Mm.
No, but this is not a game. If you want to make it the game, because we want to ask compiler to choose one of them randomly, and then we have to guess.
So it's actually the compiler's choice.
Yeah. It's compiler is going to choose randomly, right?
Yes, you don't develop.
We don't know what is the choice.
This is again.
So if you want to know what is the choice, you can get a trick. Just print this secret to know the answer, right? If you run it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, hard is the choice.
Yeah, and then.
Now we cheat on, right?
Cheat the wrong program.
How do you cheat? How do you
So
cheat?
you can print secret.
Yeah, even I did the same
If you want to cheat
I did
here,
the same thing.
print here, print secret, right? We can say cheat. So if I run, okay, my guess diamond is the secret because I printed out. So I know that. So I was cheating,
Teacher,
right? Because I've been added here, print secret. I know diamond. So diamond, okay, I won after one atom.
teacher,
I just wanted to see if it is working. So I also
My
did
one
the
is not
same
stopping.
thing.
Okay, let me see. Oh, because there is something wrong in your while loop.
You are wrong. Okay.
Okay.
open another.
Okay, because here you have to put this print outside the while loop. Okay, if you're wrong. Okay, let's type. Let's equal.
What?
No, you're wrong. Diamond. No. R. Still no. It's rectangle. No.
Abhi
Oh my God. Still no. Which one is it? We missed. Which one?
Okay.
Or
तो हम क्या कर रहे थे? हम लोग ये लोग में जाने से पहले ही मतलब प्रिंट कर रहे थे.
after 7
Just for
atoms.
our
Thank you so much.
No worries. So did you cheat on?
Oh,
No, I did. No, because this is what I wanted to try.
I'm so sorry.
But to guess a shape.
So many attempts. So the,
Answer. Yeah, you can do that. If you want to show the atom, you can see.
say after
I
5
want it. Go to
Yeah, also this is nice one. Okay, here, guys, please have a look here. I want to say that maybe after you can give 3 atoms to user.
And
If
then-
after 3 atoms he or she couldn't, you can reveal the secret, right? Here you would say that if atom, right? Let's say is equal to 3. Well, let's say equal to 3, right? What we have to say, we have to say print, sorry, you missed the chance, whatever you can put it as a message, right?
the correct shape was shape.
Secret is something like that. You would say,
so say, so let me help you or something.
yeah, I mean, you can expand it.
Yeah.
So, but make sure after 3 attempts, guys, if you run it, it never stop here because we have to say stop here. How to say stop here?
Break.
Yeah, we have to say break. Okay, let me show you. Okay, let's run. I'm running this one. So I know that the answer is this one, right? Ellipse. So I want to enter with input, wrong input. Star, for instance, diamond. Okay, can you see that? It asked me after 3 times, right? Star, diamond. It says, sorry, you missed the chance. The secret is ellipse, but still asking me because I'm still inside the loop. I have to say, stop it.
I stop after 3 attempts.
How to stop it? Because I want to get out of the while loop in the middle of running the code. We have to here say break. Break means go outside the loop. Let me run again. For instance, okay, answer is a star. I want to say circle, diamond, random. Okay, send me outside, but if you have a look here, still there is another mistake. So it says, sorry, you missed the chance. The secret is a star, right? But can you see that at the last line, say congratulations, you won after 3 attempts. Because the message is here. Now we have to control that message. How to control that message? Here you have to define a flag here. For instance, flag is like true. For instance, it's true. You can check.
If flag is.
Yeah, let me add it on top here, for instance. Flag is false, right? So when flag is true, when we have more than 3 attempts, right? Let me do it like this, more than 3 or more than 3. So we have to check if flag is false, then print this message. Otherwise, we don't need to print. Let me run again. Okay, the answer is circle. Let me say star, diamond, something like that, or. Okay, it's working now. Sorry, you missed the chance. Sorry, you missed the chance. The secret is. Maybe you can add it to upper for nice visualization. Okay, you can use all this stuff now together. Here, stop the user after 3 guesses. Let's say 3 attempts, but 3 maybe is very tough. Let's say after 4 attempts. What is your guess on the chosen file? You would say you have 4 chances. You know, you can make it like the nice game, right? Because you can add many stuff to it and make it nice program. But let's keep it till here.
It's showing some error.
If should be outside the while loop. Yeah, make sure print white space bars. Okay, now run it. That's the reason I usually put white space between the boxes, between the blocks. Right? So guys, for readability, you can put white spaces like me. I'm putting white spaces between each part. This is one part, this is one part, this is one part, and this is one part. It's better to put white spaces.
So all the 3 attempts are showing the same secret key. So my question was that, like, so when I run the loop for the first time, attempt 1 is showing hard. For attempt 2 also it is hard. My question was that whether it changes this thing at every attempt or it is the same.
Run again.
Yeah, I've tried 3 times. showing the same thing. Let's assume it's
Okay, star.
the actual is
Stars. No. Let's see. Let's say, sorry, what is ellipse here?
ellipse is the secret code. I flip.
Ah, you put it inside the loop. That's the reason at any time it's typing ellipse.
You message, so it's showing ellipse all the time.
Okay.
So if I change that, let's assume I have the answer triangle.
This triangle is the answer.
Yeah.
Triangle relation you won after 2 atoms.
It shows the same, randomly also in the same loop, it picks the, I've tried it 3-4 times, it picks the same shape. All the time. So random one was, if random one is heart, it picks heart all the times when I run the loop.
But I didn't get your point because anytime you run it, it chooses the random shape, right?
No, that's okay.
Now you want to guess which is a star. Let's see. But this is always a star. Again, star. But this is a square, right?
Yeah.
Answer is square. Okay, try with other guesses.
Triangle
Again, star, anything.
in the square.
It's still the square is
Yeah.
there. So you have third chance. This is your third chance.
Still the square. This.
Okay, square says, sorry, you missed the chance. The actual shape is a square.
Yeah, so basically it picks up one random value and that is the final value for that time.
Exactly, one value. So make sure to put it outside the loop. So here, print secret, cut it from here. Cut it here.
I initially did that only.
Yeah, it's better to put here after secret, yeah. Yeah, here. Just make sure to print it out just once. Okay, square is the secret key.
See my program.
Okay, you had. Yes, sorry, you lost. The shape was, okay, good. Yeah, adding graphical objects. Good.
This we learned from one of them, like Windows and all.
Yeah, how to add them.
Good job. Doing that.
Something that I'm still trying. It doesn't show you as an error. You have to flat instead of flag.
बिल्कुल फारूक हो जाएगा ना फिर ये काम करेगा
And then it's been printing still the 3 times and in the end. I've got calculations again, so maybe it has to be aligned with that if.
That now is correct. Go through it.
But now it's
Sorry.
okay, now this time. This is looking at the congratulations. Flat instead of flag.
Okay, but now it's working.
Now it's
Okay,
working.
perfect.
So
Thank you.
I can return.
Okay, we're done with the answer, okay?
So
You have to guess. For instance, you don't know what is the secret.
next is the next.
To try to, again, it's wrong. Again. Square, okay, one is still. Okay, because you could guess it less than 4 atoms. You said if it's 4 atoms or more, it's error, but you did it after 3 atoms. Do it after, at atom 4 or 5. Okay, nice task. Let's take the last one. Okay, write a program to read a list of number. Question?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me.
Break. Yeah. I tried it 3 times. No. Every time I do it, I get it right on the second attempt. Is it just?
Okay, okay, go on. Okay, no worries. Okay, put.
Yeah. Oh, so
Okay, yeah, star. No worries. Okay, it's wrong. Go again.
Just,
Okay, fine. Okay. Two.
is it?
Okay, let me see you did a mistake somewhere.
Or it's just because it's the value. Oh.
Okay, because here you asked after 3 atoms. Let me help you out. Okay, if your guess is correct or incorrect, it's going to print out this message because we have to add the condition for this message, right? That's the reason you got it like this. So let us to cheat. Print.
Window plus dot.
Print. Right. So the answer is circle, right? And typing star, no square, no y after 2 atoms.
I didn't tell him to guess right.
That's the thing. Okay, atom is 1 here, printed. Right. Oh, okay, because frame should be inside the if. That's wrong. So answer is triangle, right? Circle. Circle. Or. Okay, let me help you out because we tried 3 times. But can you see that it's still there, this message? Congratulations. We have to keep control on it. I said that here you can add, let's say, flag. You can make it false, right? And if it happens here, if atoms was more than 3 or 3, you can change the flag to true. Why? Because with this one, we can control this one, this message. You can see that if flag is false, print out this message. Otherwise, we don't need to.
No. Just
So, look, flag is false firstly. When it's true, when we have 3 atoms or more.
Okay.
If we have 3 atoms or more, we don't need to say congratulations because he or she failed, right?
Yes.
Okay, here triangle is answer. I'm saying star, circle, right? Or. Okay, let's help you, right? No worries. Okay, write a program to read a list of numbers from the user. Okay, we have to get input from end user, right? And print out the 2 largest and the 2 smallest values from it. Okay. Let's do it. Write a program to read a list of numbers. Okay, here we have to ask user to enter a list of values. How we can do that? We would say, for instance, str1 string, for instance. Input, we would say, please enter a valid, let's say enter a list of integer with white space between. Something like this as a message to end user. Then what we have to say, let's run it. Let's say I'm taking this one, 2 white space, 5 white space, because I asked to do it with white space. -4, let's say 10, 1, 3, let's say, I don't know, let's say 9, 20, something like that, right? So once I enter, I have to get it and I have to split it, right, to get access to each element. So how to get it? I'm getting this one. I'm going to say that number, a string, something like this. So get this str1 and then split it based on white space. Okay, and also let's change them to the list. Let's print number. Let's say, sorry, let me say numbers. Okay, numbers. Nice. Okay, I entered these numbers. Okay, nice. Can you see that? What we did here? Okay, because this is the question asked, read a list of numbers. So I enter numbers like this, 2, 5, -4, 10, 1, 3, and between numbers, I used space, right? So I have to get it, I have to split them and put it inside the list to be able to get them each separately, right? That's the way, now I have access to each value separately. So here, we have to convert these values to integer. How to convert them to integer? 4. We did it at the morning, right? 4. Let's say n in numbers, right? So we have to say, let's add new list. I want to say final, let's say verified numbers, something like this, verified numbers. So verified numbers dot append. So which one? N, but integer. We have to change it to n. And at the end, let me print it out. Let's run. Like this one. Again, 2 minus 10, for instance. 4, 5, 8, 1, 1, 3, 90, something like that. Okay, nice. Let me type convert string to integer. Okay, great. We could get a list of input from end user, and then now we get them as the integer. Okay, now we have to find the what was the term? Print out the 2 largest and 2 smallest values. So it means we have to print out here -10 and 1 as the smallest values, and like 8 and 90 as the largest values. What do you think? How we can do it? First of all, try to sort it. First of all, sort it. If you sort, then you have access to the smallest values and the largest values. Here I have to say, get access to each number. Maybe we can add the condition. What is the condition? The condition is we have to check, let's say the length of the input is better to be more than 4. For instance, we have to say if the length of this verified number, let's say if it's more than 4 numbers, or let's say more than 5 numbers, then complete the task. Otherwise, we have to print the message to end user to say, please enter more than 5 numbers. Okay, here now we have to add. Okay, let's say that we have more than 5 numbers. As I said, it's better to sort. So, do you remember how to sort a list? I guess it was from last week. We have to sort like this, dot sort. So how to sort it ascending? Let me firstly check if it has been sorted and then print verified number. Okay, let me try. 0, 10, 20, 4, 5, 6, 9. Not supported. Oh, I did a mistake here. Again. -1, 0, 4, 6, 12, 18, 2, 3, 8, and remove 1, 32. Nice. What I did here, I put it in the ascending order, right? -1, 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18. So now I have to get the first 2 indexes and last 2 indexes. How to get access to those indexes? Here, I can say that you insert something like that. Okay. And then I have to again print the 2 smallest values are verified numbers. How to get access?
0.
Exactly. You can say like this one, 0 to 2. It's going to be 0 and 1. And how to access to last 2 ones?
-1.
Perfect. -2. -2.
Okay.
And so start from the last one, -2. Right. Okay, let's see. 2 smallest, 2 largest. Let's see. Okay, great. This is the answer. So let's say user is going to input wrongly the format. How to avoid system error? Let's say wrongly input X, input like A. Make sure to add error try and accept format. But this case, it is working, right? The 2 smallest values, 2 largest values. There is no space.
0, 1 होना चाहिए ना.
There's no space.
And with you had like this. You should have space. Then, okay, go on.
कहाँ पे हमने start किया?
Because here you should space. Split them based on space. Okay, go on. No one, so go on.
I need to enter them again.
Yeah, because you can copy your numbers and use it over running.
Again, there's 0 and 2 in the -2.
Okay, let's start from top. Okay, we ask an user to enter a list of values, right? We said that please separate them by white space. So I need to get control of each values, right? For that reason, we have to split them, split based on white space. So, and then I converted to list to keep them as numbers. So, but since we get input from users, the input is in the string format. We use this one to convert them to integer, and we collect them inside the verified numbers. Nice, till here. Then I'm going to check if the number of inputs is more than 5 numbers. Okay, then go through this. Otherwise, print you enter, like, please enter more than 5 numbers. So how to get the first 2 smallest and the 2 largest? Firstly, we have to sort them. So verified underline number dot sort. And then I said print you entered verified number in the ascending format. -1, 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, and 18. And now it's easy to get the first 2 and last 2 numbers. So 2 smallest values, and then you just need to get access to the location. Location 0 to 1, and this one is location -2 and -1, means the last 2 location. And this one means the first 2 location.
I was thinking it would be 0, 1 for some reason.
Do you mean for this one?
Yeah, I would have thought it's like index 1 and 2.
You can do also something like this, 0. You can use this one, right? Or you can use this one. 0, and let me do it here. 0 and 1. Let me check.
I'm getting an error. List is not callable. List object is not callable.
Let me check. Uh, 0 and 1. Yes, okay. I think.
Is equal to individual.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not, because to get access, if you say index 0, right, it's going to take you into only index 0. Right, it's going to say index 0. But how we can add 2 indexes? You have to say this one, from this one, from last and step, right? We have to do like this, slicing. This is exactly slicing. I think you got this one, slicing. So from last step, so from index 0, last should be index 2. Why? Because we consider 1 less. And then step should be 1, but 1 is default. You can remove it, or you can keep it. Let me run again.